All right, it's 7:01 according to this screen. I'm going to call a Winona County Planning Commission meeting to order on December 17th, 2020. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, has everybody looked at their agenda? We need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Mark Clark has made a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Mike Flynn seconds that.
Who said that?
We had two of them, Mr. Chair. Who said it first? I thought I heard Mike Flynn as one of them.
All right, Mike Flynn seconded. That's fine.
Yep.
Is there any discussion of the motion to approve the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The agenda is approved, or the agenda motion is approved. Okay, now the minutes from the September 17th meeting, which is almost ancient history nowadays, are in your packet or on your screen. Is there any corrections or additions to the minutes in the packet? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve of the minutes?
So moved. Mike Flynn.
Mike Flynn has moved to take and approve the minutes of the September 17th, 2020 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Steve Jacobs has moved to second the motion. Is there any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes for September 17th, 2020 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes of the September 17th meeting are approved as printed.
Mr. Chair?
We'll go into the
Mr. Chair?
petitions.
Sorry.
Docket PC 1217-20-01 to consider the petition of Michael and Tamara Heim, who seek a conditional use permit in regard to the following. Allow for the placement of a dwelling to be located within the Agricultural Resource Conservation District on less than 40 acres pursuant to Chapter 10.4.6 parentheses 36 of the Winona County zoning ordinance. Lou, it's all yours.
Thank you, Eugene. Good evening, commissioners. Before I get started, Kay, did you have something you wanted to add?
I don't have the greatest connection, Lou, but I wanted to let Mr. Chair know that both Patrick and Lynn have joined the meeting. Lynn Carlson. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm going to run through a few slides here, as usual. Try not to take too long, and turn it back over to you guys. So we'll start with the petition 1217-2001. Like Eugene said, it's a petition to allow a home on less than 40 acres. It's a 10-acre parcel that they'd be creating pursuant to Chapter 10.4.636 of the Winona County zoning ordinance. Next slide. You'll see a map of the site here. The green is the proposed parcel. The small red square is the proposed dwelling location, and there's a driveway access also added. The parent parcel that they're splitting the 10 acres off of is 270 acres. And the purpose of the split is to be able to sell it to, they have buyers for the land who want to build on the property, and so they're asking for the conditional use permit and able to sell the parcel to them in order to build their home. Next slide. So overview of the site. You look in the southwestern corner of the map. That's where the yellow is concentrated there. That's St. Charles. On the northeastern part of the map is Altura. And you can see the green is Whitewater State Park in the northwestern portion of the map. It's located on Borderline Drive in Section 35 of Elba Township. Next slide. So a little background information of the site. There is a drainage way that works through this portion of the land. Most of it is tilled and under cultivation, but this area you can tell is not, and that's because it's a fairly significant waterway, and there is some topography in there. There's also some prime soils, as you can see. The building site is actually on Class 3 soils, but the overall percentage of those soils in the parcel is about 22%. So it's less than the 40% that's required by the ordinance to require the soils portion of standards to be in effect. So if you're less than 40% prime soils, there's essentially an exemption to that requirement. So I just wanted to show how those soils lay across the property and in the area, and how they meet that exemption in the ordinance. Next slide. Elba Township has reviewed the petition and are in support. I've indicated that they are in support of the petition. The petitioners went to their meeting, I believe it was in October, and Saratoga Township had no additional questions or comments beyond that.
That must be a misprint.
Was that which part?
Where it says Saratoga, this is in Elba Township, right?
Thank you. Thank you. It is Elba Township. Yes. I'm sorry about that. It is Elba Township. That's a typo. Next slide. Staff has reviewed the criteria. Criteria number 9 technically looks like it's not being met. The composite score for non-farm dwellings in the comp plan indicates that the property is towards the higher end of those numbers, which is like a golf score. The higher you go, the worse your score is. It's actually on the upper middle portion of the scoring, so it's actually pretty good for a rural area for building, but in the overall scheme of it, it's probably the upper end of the middle on scoring. So just wanted to bring that to your attention, that technically it might look like it's not being met, but the score is actually not too bad for a single family residential dwelling in the ag district. There are 5 conditions that we've included if you choose to approve the petition. And that's all that I have for you tonight. if you have any questions now or as we're going through it further, feel free to ask.
Anyone have any questions for Lou? Hearing none, does the petitioner wish to speak on their own behalf at this time? Okay, can you get them hooked up? I saw they were listening in.
I do not see that Tamara and Michael Heim are muted, so they can speak up if they would like to speak right now. I did give them a heads up through the chat box that you would be calling upon them right now.
I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear anything. Now that, try it again.
There are a couple of different ways for them to mute themselves. There's one down in the lower left corner of the screen, and then there's one on their own screen on the corner of the Ring Central main screen. I've got tangled up with that and not been able to talk or hear.
Yeah, they're not muted on my screen. I don't see if they're muted.
Not on my screen either, but they're trying to get it so that we can hear them.
When you hit the link for the internet, the video connection, you have the option to mute or not mute, but
Well, mine stays up there. Can they hear? Can you hear us? Nod your head if you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
they nodded. They can hear us, Steve.
When that happens to me, I can't hear you and you can't hear me.
Couldn't they call in on a phone if they wanted to say something and talk on the phone and still watch us? You take your phone and call that number?
That's a good suggestion.
I can see she's trying.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I don't have anything yet for participants to let into the meeting, but I'll keep an eye out in the next few minutes here.
All right.
Otherwise, Stephanie would be screen sharing next with findings of facts, I presume.
Council, is there any way we can do something else in the meantime?
Not really. That's where we're at, and it's either that or move into discussion.
Okay.
Eugene, you'll need to open a public hearing and ask if there's any comments. You could probably do that portion.
Okay, if that's agreeable with the rest of the commissioners, that's what we'll do.
yes.
I see some heads nodding, so at this time, do I have a motion to open the public hearing on docket 12-17-20-01.
So move, Patrick.
Patrick has moved to open the public hearing. Is there a second?
I'll second.
This is Vince. I'll second.
All right, I think Lynn got there before you, Vince. So
Lynn did.
That's fine.
Lynn seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on the motion to open the public hearing? Hearing none, all those in favor of opening public hearing on docket 12-17-20-01, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The motion to open the public hearing has passed unanimously. So at this time, anyone wishing to speak to docket 12-17-20-01, please get on with Kay and say what you have to say. I guess, Kay, is there anyone else on the list that could speak to this at this time?
It does not appear so, Mr. Chair. And I do not see
Times?
Haim.
All right, for the second time, anyone wishing to speak to PC 12-17-20-01, get on the phone with Kay and say your piece. For the third and final time, anyone wishing to speak to docket 12-17-20-01, get on the internet and state your name and address and say your piece.
I'll move to close the public hearing. You, Jacob.
Jacob has moved to close the public hearing on docket 12-17-20-01.
Mark will second it.
Mark seconds it. Is there any discussion on closing the public hearing? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to close the public hearing on docket 12-17-20-01, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The public hearing is now closed. Okay, now Ann says that petitioners may be on now. Can you take them in?
Can you hear us
They're
now?
not, they're not muted, so you folks can go ahead.
Hello, this is Tamara Haim.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.
Sorry about that. We're not very good at this.
Don't worry. I'm not either.
You're doing better than we are.
Well, I got lots of help here.
I think we need a little.
Okay, do you have anything to add on your petition?
Nope, it's just if you have any questions, let us know and we'll try to answer.
Okay, does any of the commissioners have a question for the petitioners?
No.
I don't believe there's any questions for you. I thank you for going to the trouble of getting so we could hear you, and I appreciate that. And so we'll get back to the agenda for discussing your petition.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, now, let's see. Is there any discussion amongst the commissioners about what we've heard so far? Hearing none. At this time, council, do you read the findings of fact, or you want me to do that, or how do we do that?
I will put them up on the screen so that you don't have to read them word for word, and you can choose however you would like to move forward.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
this is Kelly Stanage, Mr. Chair.
yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the findings developed by
Kelly,
staff.
I think we have to read it into the
No, you don't.
We
You
don't
can
even
do it
have
this
to
way.
read it into the record?
Nope.
Okay, fine, Kelly, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we adopt the findings developed by staff, and we recommend the petition for approval with the conditions as presented by staff.
Okay, is there a
Mark Clark,
second?
and I will second it.
Who said that?
Mark Clark, I
Okay,
will
Mark
second that.
seconds the motion for the findings of fact and the conditions for the petition. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Looks like a good place to put a home.
Very
I
nice.
totally agree with you, Steve.
That's right.
All right. Seeing no discussion or hearing no discussion, I guess is a better way to put it. All those in favor of the motion, Stephanie, would you read the motion again?
The motion would be to adopt the findings as presented and recommend approval with the conditions recommended.
Okay, is everybody clear on what they're voting on?
Yes.
All of those in favor of the motion to approve docket 17 dash, what is it here? 1217-20-01, say aye.
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 All right. Those opposed, say nay. The motion to adopt is unanimously approved. And so at this time, the petitioners understand, I hope, that it goes to the county commissioners for their meeting. I presume that'll be in January?
January 2nd.
So that, and we just take and recommend the approval. But they have the final say. Okay, let's get on with the next item on the agenda.
Hey, Eugene,
Yeah,
just real quick, if Mike and Tamara are still on the line, just like to let them know if they have any questions, they can give me a call. They've got my number, and we can go from there. Sorry we couldn't be in person. Usually we'd chat after the meeting, but this will have to do. So
thank you, Lou. Well, they don't show up on my screen, Lou, but I hope they heard you.
Yeah, and
I
I was
tried.
Yeah, they
thinking
did.
that maybe the petitioners could learn sign language as well.
Oh, man. All right. I guess the next thing is updates. There was no Board of Adjustment meeting this month. So it's Steve, it's up to you for a county board update.
Thank you, Eugene. The county board approved the Timothy Lawler petition to build less than 300 feet from a bluff. The board approved the Prairie Moon Nursery expansion permit, and the county board approved the Christopher and Jolene Dornack permit, and the county board unanimously denied the Army Corps dredging permit, even after, or not the dredging permit, but the deposition at the quarry, even after the Planning Commission had recommended approval. If anyone wants me to explain that, I'm happy to elaborate on it, or maybe you've read about it in the paper. I don't know. But
Is there anyone that has any questions for Commissioner Jacob? Hearing none, Steve, thank you.
okay.
All right, council, I believe you're gonna have the next item, C under updates.
Did I miss something? What's item C? I don't have my agenda
January
open.
13th. January
all I gotta
14th
say is
training.
Thursday,
yes.
January 14th at 5 p.m. we have a training for the planning commission.
Yep, our annual training, we're going to be doing that on January 14th. We're going to be doing it in this format by Zoom. We'll cover the usual topics, but also any updates from the last year from the legal world as far as what to expect and how we need to move forward. We can answer any questions. So if you're going to be on the Planning Commission or the Board of Adjustment next year, plan to be there so we can make sure we get through everything.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. All right, Kay, now it's your turn.
Yes, indeed. And I think you signed something tonight for one of our retiring Planning Commission members, Vince Reddy, who is not going to go for another term. Vince, I'm sure that Eugene and staff and all your fellow Planning Commission members would like to thank you for your service to the Planning Commission. And, you know, everybody that serves on the citizen advisory committees, particularly the Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment, County Board, these are very challenging jobs and very valuable to the community. And, you know, whatever your perspective that you've brought to the work that you've done, Vince, you've always provided thoughtful commentary and reviewed the staff reports. And of course, staff, we love that. And so thank you so much for your service. And Mr. Chairman, did you have anything to add?
No, Vince, Kay, I have really enjoyed working with you, Vince, and I really enjoyed that small jar of honey that you gave me last year, too.
Well, thank you all very much. This is Vince. I'm sorry I have to leave. I've enjoyed immensely being on the commission. Everyone has been extremely respectful and tolerant of my inexperience. And I'm afraid of having to go back to work full time, and I'll be working till 10 o'clock at night till in the foreseeable future. So otherwise, I think I would probably be willing to give it another go. And I hope that my replacement finds it as worthwhile as I did. I like everybody that I've been on that commission with. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Vince.
Vince.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you. Thank you, Vince.
Thank you. And we'll jump around a little bit. Rachel Stoll has been the representative from the Board of Adjustment for the Planning Commission. And Rachel, you're retiring as well. And so you've had double duty. You've had double packets to read. You're retired from both the Board of Adjustment and then therefore the Planning Commission for some very good reasons as well. And so we'd like to offer our congratulations and thank you for your service because, like I said, it's a very tough job, and you know, doing it well is not assumed by anybody, but yet appreciated when it happens. And so, thank you.
Thanks,
Yep.
Rachel.
Yes.
Yeah, for those of you who weren't listening in on our conversation early before the call started, I am pregnant. That's why I'm stopping. So I'm due on February 1st, and so it seemed like a good time to take a step back. I'm not sure what my life will be like. It's my first, so I'm pretty excited.
Congratulations.
Ooh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
go.
Here, if you saw me in person, you'd know.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Very nice. Baby bump there. A couple other folks, Kelly, Lynn, notably, their re-upping applications have been received by the county board, and decisions will be made on those applications as well as new applicants on January 5th. So generally speaking, the county board looks at, you know, everyone's first choices, second choices, whether they've served already and are experienced. So pending that set of decisions, Kelly and Lynn, I would also like to extend, you know, thanks from both staff and from the Planning Commission, and then I'm sure our chair, for all of your hard work as well in the intervening period. So thank you. Mr. Chair and Ann Sherrill, have I missed anyone that I should be mentioning at this time?
Yes.
I don't, You sent me a,
Yeah.
because
I'm
I'm
setting you up.
because I'm not allowed to serve more than 6 years. So
That's right.
if
You
you
can
want to
serve
come
more
in,
than 6
fine.
years.
If you
You
don't,
got
I don't
Peter
care.
off.
Ann Schwertel was teasing him, planning commission members, before the meeting that he was going to have to be off 1 year and then re-up, and he's going to end up being his friendship. So I brought treats tonight, and Kelly was on early, and I said I wished I could share with everyone. We had cupcakes and a charcuterie board with some cheese and crackers, and it was a real pleasure to honor our chair, as I know you are all joining me in doing for all of his hard work as well. Spent some late nights. I remember being brand new at the county, and the friendliness with this group, welcomed me, as well as Eugene has made an effort to call me occasionally and help educate me about matters in the county, as well as just in a friendly way. So all of us on the staff will miss him very much. I hope he won't be a stranger, and congratulations for your service, sir.
Well, thank you, Kay, and the rest of the commission too. I guess I have a couple words to say at this time. I sincerely and very strongly agree with the comments of the other people that have spoken in this part of the agenda. This has been a rewarding part of my term, because there is not a commissioner on this planning commission that I don't think worked very, very hard and very, very diligently and gave it their best effort. And I really appreciate that. It has been a long 6 years. The first meeting I think that Kay was at, or one of the first meetings, was the night we went till 1:30, and I had just gotten out of the St. Anne's Hospice or Healthcare Center because I couldn't take care of myself, and so the rest of the commission let me go home at 10:30. But anyway, I have some very pleasant memories, and I thank each and every one of you who served on this commission with me for however long you did serve with me. And at this time, Mark, my condolences to you for the passing of your father.
Thank you.
Get kind of busy on my farm. I don't get all the things done that I'm supposed to, but my condolences to you, Mark.
Thank you.
Sorry for your loss, Mark.
Let's see. I guess that's about all I'm going to say. I'm not a real politician, so. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Well, thank you, Eugene. Thank you for all you've done. You really went the distance and gone above and beyond, and we can tell you put your heart into it. Appreciate that.
Great.
Well, Dave, I try and do that with everything I do, and that's what makes life kind of difficult, because in America we don't appreciate all of the blessings we have sometimes, and we kind of, too many of us stand around with our hands out instead of trying to have our hands help somebody out. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move. Patrick.
Patrick moved to adjourn the December 17th meeting. Is there a second to the motion?
Mike Flynn seconds.
Lynn, did you second it?
She beat him again.
No.
What's that?
Mr. Flynn.
All right, Mike Flynn seconds the motion to adjourn. The meeting of the December 17th, 2020 Planning Commission is adjourned.